Hi, in this lesson we're going to ask the question of how can we decipher formulas on a worksheet? Well, the answer is we can use two commands in Excel called the trace precedent command and the trace dependent command. Now we've got a case study and we're going to use that case study to illustrate how these commands work. So in our case study, John has just joined a new company as a junior business analyst. Part of this role involves monitoring the spend analysis sheet so he can write his weekly reports to management on how to best direct the business. His predecessor didn't leave any notes. What can aid his understanding? Okay, so let's look at our data. Right, so we've got two tables. One is a spend table and the other is a discount table. Now the spend table has three categories: stationery, weigh date, food and drink, with three numbers, or figures I should say: $9,000, $2,000 and $15,000. And we've also got a discount table of stationery 10% and parking permits 20%. Now, our sheet summary basically is what John is using at the moment. So he wants to basically figure out where this $9,000 has come from. Now, what's the best way for him to do this? Well, we can use the trace precedence command. How this works is as follows. We select the cell that we want to find out where it's originated from. In other words, if I click in here, where this formula, VLOOKUP, is drawing all the references, in other words, F19, B19 to C21. To do that, we have to go and activate the command. So we go to the Formula tab and Trace Precedence here. We click this. Now, as you can see, we have a blue line and a rectangle. Let's take a look at the blue line first. Right, so we've got an arrowhead pointing to our cell. Then we go along and we've got a dot here. I don't know if you guys can see this dot. Let me just zoom in for you guys. So we've got a blue dot here. Then we've got another dot here. Right. So what this is basically telling us is that this value here is used, as well as this value here. Let's look at the VLOOKUP a bit more in detail. Now, VLOOKUP, in essence, basically allows you to look up the value to the right-hand side of a column. So in this case, we're asking Excel, here's stationery, look into these two columns, and then look on the left-hand side, more specifically for stationery, and then once you've found it, grab the value to the right-hand side column, which is this one, 9,000. And as you can see, we've got 9,000 here. So this arrow here is telling us basically that we've got this cell here which is being used and this cell here. But what's the rectangle? Well, the rectangle is basically this range here in our formula, which is B19 to C21. So we can surmise that we're using this range to work out part of the formula that VLOOKUP needs in order to get its result. Now, what happens if we click again on Trace Precedent? You can see we get another arrow. Now, this arrow, this time, is originating from here and it's pointing up to 9,000 again. Now, what's this telling us? Well, as you know, this rectangle basically formed part of the formula of the VLOOKUP here. However, this figure here also draws on this cell here by means of this formula, which is 10,000 times brackets 1 minus C26. In other words, we've applied a 10% discount on the stationery and we factor this into the spend table. So instead of $10,000, it's now $9,000. So this arrow here and this little dot denotes that the 10%, in other words, this cell was used to make that formula, which in turn contributed to this. So that's how you use trace precedence. Now, if I click on it again, we notice we get the exclamation sound, which is basically telling us that we can't go any further backwards because there is nothing to go further backwards to. Right. Just one thing, folks, before we go on to the next one. If I click a cell which has nothing in it, for example, and I hit trace precedence, we get this dialog box. The trace precedence command requires that the active cell contain a formula which includes valid references. In other words, there's nothing in the cell that constitutes a formula that it can use to work backwards to. Okay, before we look at trace dependence, we need to remove all the arrows. And we do that by clicking here, remove arrows. And that simply just resets it back to its normal view. Right, now let's just say John wants to basically start on the tables and work forwards. In other words, he wants to see what cells are being used in any other formulas on the sheet. How would he do that? This is where we use trace dependence. So let's take stationary, for example. If we click here, trace dependence, we get an arrow pointing towards $9,000, in other words, this cell. So how to read this is basically that this cell is being used by this formula. And if we click here, we can see the C26. If we click trace dependence again, we get another arrow pointing to here. So how to read this is this cell is being used here by this formula, and this cell again is then being used for this formula. So in other words, we're using trace precedence to work our ways forward. Now this is a great way of basically picking any cell on a sheet and seeing if it's used by another cell. So for example, let me just remove the arrows and click 20% here. Let's try trace dependence. Let's see the dialog we got. The trace dependence command found no formulas that refer to the active cell. So basically this 20% is not being used by any of these cells in their formulas. Okay. Now, similar to the trace precedence, if we hit this and then hit this again and hit this again, we get that dialog sound, the exclamation sound. And that basically indicates again that it can't go any more forward, which means it's not being used. In other words, this cell is not being used anywhere else at the moment. Okay, so that covers trace precedence and trace dependence. We are now going to look at error checking, which is also super handy. So let's just remove the arrows. Now, what we're going to do is create an error and then use the error checking selection to basically figure out how to trace this error. So let's take our stationary cell and let's add some random text. Let's press enter. Now, as you can see, automatically our formula cells have updated themselves and they've changed themselves to error messages. So let's just say John got the sheet like this and he wanted to figure out what's causing all these errors. What would be the best way for him to go about it? Okay, he would click in here and he would basically go to error checking. Clicks on it and he gets this dialog box. It says error in cell G19. Gives you the formula, the VLOOKUP. And then the error in value, in other words the error message type, is basically a value using the formulas of the wrong data type. Now if we go to trace error, you'll see that we get a red line. And this red line is basically telling us where, for all intents and purposes, this formula draws its value from. Where's this error coming to? So in other words, the error has originated for this cell there. Now, to read this, you have to basically look at this and go, okay, what happened before this cell? In other words, what does this cell draw on to produce that error message? So let's just close that. And we look at this blue line. Now, we can see that if we go and trace this line back here, that the 10% is basically not read as a number anymore because we added that text, which in effect messed up that formula. Now notice this line is blue, and the reason being is because this on its own is not an error. This is just text. It's only when we use this, in other words, into a formula, that we got this error message. Hence this line is a blue line. So you can see basically how we can use this error checking to basically find out where a formula has gone wrong, and then look one step back to find out what value went in to the original point of contention, which is here. And if we correct this, you'll notice that the line then changes to blue as the formulas update and produce some values. Okay, so that summarizes how to use formula tracing. I'm going to show you one more thing, and that's this feature here called Show Formulas. Now, as the name suggests, it basically will show you all the formulas on a sheet. So if we go like that, you can see that the sheet suddenly has widened slightly, and the formulas that we had and talked about are present. So they will show up in this type of view. As long as Show Formulas is ticked, they will show up by default. Now, as you can see, everything's also reverted back to its basic formatting. So the percentage becomes 0.1, which was 10% before. Now, the only downside to this is it can sometimes widen your sheet to a point where it can become a bit unusable. So if you do use this, you can always zoom out, or you can basically just, click it to get back to where you want to go once you've figured out roughly, what type of formulas you're looking at. Okay, so that wraps up this lesson. Just to summarize the benefits, this is a great way to decipher sheets, especially if you didn't make them. Sometimes you might be given a spreadsheet with a lot of formulas and you want to figure out how it works. Using these commands you can. This is also a great way of remembering why you did certain actions on a sheet for your own work. So say for example you've got a spreadsheet, you make some additions, put some formulas in, save it, close it, don't come back to it for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. This is a great way of bringing yourself back up to speed and basically remembering why you did certain things on the sheet. This is also a brilliant training tool for new people. If you need to train them on a new sheet or a new process and it involves a spreadsheet with lots of formulas in, using these tools you can show them quite clearly how everything hangs together on the sheet. Finally, this is also an excellent way to communicate to management or discuss findings in team meetings. These arrows, when you do them, can be printed out on the sheet. So you could take a couple of copies, hand it to everyone, the arrows are there and people can see how the sheet is being constructed and reported. This will also enable them to ask questions as well about the formulas, which provokes a healthy discussion and can also be used to lead to a better spreadsheet overall. Okay, well that sums up the benefits, so thank you for watching.